So, Indomitable Creativity / Blue-Red Terror combo. So, Creativity here says, destroy X target artifacts and or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they get an artifact or creature. You put all of the cards you reveal this way into play. So, you'll note that the only artifact or creature card in our deck is Terror of the Peaks. So the combo here is you make tokens with cards like Chandra or artifacts with things like Seize the Spoils and Pirate's Pillage, Dragon Fodder, Forbidden Friendship, and then you Indomitable Creativity for X's 3, which lets you put 3 Terror of the Peaks into play. They all see each other enter play, and you get 30 damage worth of Terror of the Peaks direct damage triggers to your opponent. Now, there is a similar Indomitable Creativity deck that plays Locust God plus a card that loots when something comes into play to make a bunch of Locust triggers. And the reason why I think this is a little bit better than that is twofold. The first is that this is just a better card to draw naturally than either of the cards the Lotus Combo God deck draw. And the second is that we get to play Mystic Reflection as a second way to combo. So if you draw one of your 4 copies of Terror of the Peak naturally, you could use Mystic Reflection to choose your Terror of the Peaks and then make a couple of tokens with some of these to turn them into Terror of the Peaks. So we're not just an Indomitable Creativity deck. We can cast a Terror, use Mystic Reflection, and then like Chandra, actually the way she's templated, when you Mystic Reflection and then Chandra activate, the terrors come in with haste off of Chandra, which is sweet. So yeah, I like this better than Locust God combo. I think it's got a little bit more play to it in spots because of things like this. You don't have to draw awkward bad cards. You can just cast dragons and kill people by attacking with dragons and tokens in some games. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this and see if it's reasonable against A. We played this once before on stream a couple weeks back, and it felt pretty okay. Thanks for the new follows there, Gunner of Time and Kyla Naya. Kai Na, maybe? I'm bad. Usernames at a glance, chat. You will note also that our mana base looks a little bit funky. And the reason why it looks a little bit funky is because of Dwarven Mine here. So our goal is to be able to play Dwarven Mine to generate tokens. Although I think in this hand, I'm actually going to put this into play tapped. In case I don't draw a 4th land here. Want as many mountains as possible to enable this. Those decks are very Goldfish style decks for sure, press a pick. Yikes. Now, one thing that's awkward about our deck versus this opponent's deck is our deck is we do only deal a finite amount of damage, so the opponent can definitely gain life to a point where they can cause some trouble for us. We also drew 2 copy of Terror of the Peaks this game, which is pretty awkward. Well, that's the point. The point of the deck, Billy Boy. You're not all in on the combo. We are going to get run down here. So the two terrors. That's the appeal of playing this over something like the other deck we talked about, the Locust God, where like the Locust God deck, if you have your combo pieces, you literally just can't play Magic. Whereas with this, you could actually like cast Terror. You could use Mystic Reflection, etc. You're not just like, I need to cast Indomitable Creativity for lethal or I lose the game. The appeal of playing a combo deck like this is that you're able to be flexible in situations like that. Bring in a bunch of our removal spells and try again here on the play. These are only 2 non-mountain lands in the deck. Trying to hit that critical density of mountains is why we're playing Triomes. I don't really play Pioneer like a mod, so I don't really have that available. We played Treasure Flare this morning, and it was hilarious and excellent. We played a mono green ramp deck that was kind of mediocre. So, doing okay overall. I'm gonna bin the land here rather than the Fire Prophecy. We might double Prophecy this next turn. So, the looting cards, for the people that are suggesting we cut those cards generate artifacts, which allow us to work towards our combo. So part of the reason why we play these looting cards is because they're combo enablers. It's not just because they help us filter. That's great, present pick. Alright, so if we draw an untapped land next turn, they die. We get to creativity these 3 things. Did I just play this? I don't think so. You wanna, I think you're gonna go dig in. Terror into creativity for 2 chat means that my opponent, means that we'd only be dealing 20 the following turn, and my opponent was at 21 for reference. Whereas setting up this way to creativity for 3 next turn deals 30 damage. So now they're dead. Unless we draw a Terror in the Peaks. dragons. Dragons go burr. This is probably a hard matchup for us in general. I would expect, like, not only do they gain life out of our combo range, but their creatures dodge Anger of the Gods. So I wouldn't be surprised if we lose this on the draw for game 3. Like, Anger can occasionally catch them. I would expect our deck to lose this matchup more often than not. What's the damage at 4 dragons? 15 times 4 is 60. So, Grafdigger's Cage doesn't stop our deck because Indomitable Creativity puts things into play from exile. Just for reference. So this deck explicitly does not care about Grafdigger's Cage. Which is nice, because that's one of the most common hate cards in the format. Yeah, it's a really awkward technicality. I agree that it is super awkward. Yeah, this is about what I was talking about here. Their Pridebaits especially are their best threats against us. Yeah, we're just super dead here. Decks that have creatures, decks that pressure us with things that don't die to our deal 3s are real good against us. Yes, the only reason we don't play Cage in our deck is because Indomitable Creativity can floop artifacts into play, so it messes up your combo consistency if you put Cages in our deck. Red Jagor, thanks for the follow. I will not be surprised at all if someone boards in Cage against us at some point in this set. Sure, you could technically destroy Cage with Creativity, but, like, having Cages in your deck means when you cast Creativity, you don't know if you're going to actually win or not. Main board Cage is not uncommon in this format. But we don't need to kill their Cages, Taddeo, because Cage, like we talked about, Cage doesn't impact us. I don't even know why it bothers to show us the stupid draw thing. Just like, if you know you're gonna show me a match with a draw, just leave me in the queue arena. Like, why make me click out and click back in? Or at least if you're going to show me the draw screen, give me a button to re-queue right from that screen there. Would be ideal. And we've been really bad at having blue sources so far today. I think this is keepable, though. Yes, for a long... Have you tried recently, Swift? For a long time, I had to kill the application every time I got the draw screen too, but a recent patch fixed it. Hope to draw mountains here. Could be wrong, because I can't foretell into this. Nailed it. I haven't tried clicking since last match. Hey, you should give it a try. Ooh, maybe they're just a ramp deck instead of a control deck? That would be good for us. They're not on counter spells game 1. Might actually use this treasure to draw cards here. Or not. I could dome them for 10 here. I could, like, target these. Chandra. Chandra can also recast token makers from your bin too when you're grinding on control. Which is nice. She can recast things like Dragon Fodder. She can technically recast Mystic. Mystic Reflection too. Thanks for the title nudge.
Hey, these little guys are great.
Maybe get to play around Censor here. Cannot recast Indomitable. Chandra's 2 or less. Okay. Oh, it is 3 or less. You're right. Interesting. Alright, so against control, we want to pull up a little bit. We board in some extra counter spells and some planeswalkers, and these cards that draw discard get to come out because if your opponent counter spells this, you still discarded a card. Gotta leave 2 in, because sometimes you can sneak them through or protect it with the counter spell of your own. Something else to note that's relevant in these control matchups is that the Mystic Remora card that we have is symmetrical, and it works on planeswalkers as well. So you can use the Mystic Remora card on one of your 1/1 tokens to make their Teferi or Ugin come into play as a 1/1 token. So it's an edge case. It's not why we're playing it, but it's something that comes up. Yep, told you we would see Grafdigger's Cage this set. People don't know how to read. So I think we just Chandra here. To be fair, Grafdigger's Cage does stop Chandra from recasting spells. I think one of the reasons I like this deck is because I love this card as a planeswalker. I really miss the days of this being a card that was playable. Remember when this was the thing the sack decks were doing? Instead of whatever it is they're doing now? When the sack decks were sweet? And they weren't just claim the firstborning you constantly.
Don't worry, I brought something.
Yeah, opponent basically mulligan to 5 here. They're just dead to my tokens. Sweet control deck. Good game, Gandalf. Yeah, I agree. Cat, Oven, and Clay made Sacrifice really dry. Chandra's like the Planeswalker version of Creature Lands. Yeah, that's a good comparison. It's like a threat that a lot of removal's bad against. Sure. Good to foretell this on 2. And if we're in danger of missing a land drop, we get to dig for it on 3. I would expect that this matchup is a little bit better for us than the Johnny's Pride Mate build, but they're still in danger of them gaining a bunch of life. We didn't play Merfolk today, Zazu. Okay, lands are great draws. So what's the play here? We could seize the spoils. We could Mystic Reflection Foretell. I don't need 2 Indomitable Creativities. I think I'm gonna bin 1 to seize. You see where we end up at? Okay, so next turn we'll get to Mystic Reflection, Terror of the Peaks, and then play Dragon Fodder. Okay, so I want to kill these 2, but also these over here, I think. Or do I just kill all the angels? Do I just murder all their angels and leave them the bishops here? I think that's actually the play, right? I know they're gonna get spirits, but... Huh? I definitely need to kill this one. Do I kill this? I could kill both of these and they get no spirits. And they're also out of ways to gain life. Oh, the spirits would be terrors. Yes. Yes, they would be. Ah, damn it. Man, we were so close. I think we actually would have. I think we were going to be in a position to win that if they hadn't had a Johnny there. Oh, it's only the next time. Okay, you're right. So the spirits would not have been terrors. Okay, so my original understanding was correct. Okay. Interesting. I would have died there regardless because they had the Ajani, but it's kind of again sweet there seeing how we can play through life game by just making terrors on the board, right? Dodged the bullet, caught the wrench. That was a close game. I got to pop off a little bit. Seems fine. Not amazing, but fine. I wonder if they're playing mono white or if they just didn't see their second color that game. A little greedy to bottom a land there, but like I've got these to see a bunch of cards. We just do this. They are playing Collected Company. Because I need 3 mountains for the dwarf guard, the dwarf land. So if we draw the dwarf land, I basically never need double blue. And being able to make a token with the dwarf land is important. So, at a touch of an impasse, if I don't kill Angel this turn, I probably need to combo next turn. There's a good chance I miss on that, so I think I'm just supposed to Chandra shoot the Resplendent Angel. I guess I haven't played a land yet, which gives me reason to want to do this. What's YOLO? We could potentially have a defensive reflection this turn, yeah. Do we defensive reflection? I think so, right? Well, that was the best draw in my deck. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you twist the mana base for the Dwarven Mine. Eldraine, just another broken Eldraine card, chat. Bottom reflection here, keep my lands. Could go either way. No joke, Dwarven Mine is frequently an MVP in this deck. Hey, Mr. Bips, thanks for the 17 months, by the way. Welcome back, I appreciate it. I think we're cycling this, right? This might be wrong, because it means I have to shock. I don't have to shock, I can Dwarven Mine for this, right? Good chance this kills us. It's very possible I should have been greedy and bottomed a land and kept the Mystic, because I could have Mysticked in response here. To give them 2/1/1s. That Coco could have been much worse for us, I agree. Okay, well. Oh. Just be lucky and leave it. The problem is my opponent to get the 2/4 that gains them, that makes their board huge here. Do we survive 2 turns? I don't know. Excuse me? So now I shock this in and I creativity for 2 here and I shoot Resplendent Angel and Speaker of the Heavens. Yeah, speaker is sorcery speed, chat. What a sick match. Oh, I could have dealt extra damage, right? I could have played this and shot their one thing with that. All right, I missed 4 points of damage. It probably doesn't matter, but worth noting. I'm aware I missed it. That's sick. This deck's hilarious. Using Mystic to counter Collected Company is just like such a treat. Like, all right, have your 1/1s. Enjoy. Yeah, seeing our like interactive kind of mid-rangey plan. Mystic Reflection is the anti-Coco tech we've been waiting for. Yep. If you're new to the channel, like Skyblades, thanks for the follow. Thanks for hanging out today. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I do a lot of turn-based strategy games and card games like this. Magic is the primary game I'm playing these days. Both Historic and Standard have been a lot of fun since their most recent expansion released. Been enjoying poking around with HA4 cards and other things. If you enjoy the content, be sure to check out my YouTube channel as well. We play 2 to 3 different constructed decks almost every single day of the week, and they all get published there. You haven't seen this one before. This is something that we've played in the past, so you could have seen it a whole lot sooner if you're following along with all the sweet things that I post there. Luris. If our opponent's playing rogues, I'm going to concede because I don't feel like playing against rogues. If they're playing a different Luris deck, we'll play Magic. Black, red will be fine. Magic has a lot of neat combo decks in it. I don't think combo is inherently bad or unhealthy. Decks like this, for example, there's lots of good, meaningful ways to disrupt them and interact with them. You can kill the things we're targeting. You can kill the artifacts. You can counter our spells. You can discard our spells, stuff like that. A lot of meaningful points of interaction with what our deck is doing. I think I'm just being conservative and doing a tapped Dwarven Mine here on 1. If I draw another mountain, I'm a little bit sad that I did that, but I really want to be able to go Friendship into Chandra. Although we might be losing the Chandra now. Sure. I think there's a good chance they're a Death Shadow deck, so I'm going to decline to attack here. I'll cycle this rather than cast Forbidden Friendship here. Ingram, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. We played Mono Green Ramp, that was kind of mediocre, and we played Treasure Flare, which was awesome. You did miss some Treasure Flare. Had some really great games in it. I'll be up on the YouTubes tonight. Got him. Look at that human soldier, chat. Meow. There, one card off Escaping Croxy here. I don't know how good that is necessarily, but I love it every time. You and me both. You and me. I don't know if it's good, but it's definitely great. We played Bant enchantments in Standard at the beginning of the season, and it felt very reasonable. It's been a hot second since we play it, but if you look back in my Standard playlist towards the start of after it released, I think that deck could be updated to be reasonable for sure. I mean, to be fair, we're like an Indomitable Creativity away for winning. I don't want to trade with this 1/1 because if we trade with it, it gives them enough cards to escape Croxa, which would not be great for us. Yeah. Nah, I really don't want to hold lands while there's a Croxa in their bin. Seems like a bad play. Okay, well, with that draw means Indomitable Creativities are lethal. Yeah, when you mouse over it, Mean Bean. If you looked when I moused over the token, it had a Lurrus underneath it. Lethal Indomitable Creativity is our best top deck. We at least get to hide this, which is nice. Three. Feeling dead, man. Got one more draw at a lethal thing. And now we'll no longer have enough tokens to have creativity be lethal, so I'll pack it in. Aether Gust sound fun. But this is a Fire Prophecy matchup. The couple we have in the main are probably fine. I don't think I want more of them. Someone egged your car last night. Yuck. Well, people need hobbies, chat. Egging cars. I'm coming back tonight to TP your house. Oh, the 90s. Alright, this hand we're definitely playing Dwarven Mine on 1 because this isn't a mountain. Decided my midlife crisis is going to be mostly mid-90s movie pranks. It was personal, Game Arcane. Was it looking to take down you specifically? Alright, definitely foretelling this here. Want to be able to try and hit land drops next turn if we miss. Wife is mad at you for filing taxes. Well, you gotta do that. That's not optional. Uncle Sam needs his cut. I think Delver would be a great addition to this arc. We've talked about that on stream before. This gives us the best chance to hit land drops this turn. I only wait to file my taxes if I owe the government money. This year they were sending me my money back, so we filed as soon as we could. I wait if I have to pay them. If they're sending me a check, we're going to get that taken care of right away. Alright, if they don't kill Terror and we draw an untapped land, they die next turn. Because we Mystic, Forbidden Friendship, Forbidden Friendship. Read. Oh yeah, that's true. It technically only works once. Good call. We talked about that. Alright, so we're getting Thoughtseize next turn. What do we think about going... Yeah, what do we think about going wide? What if we copy Dr. Peasy? I'm aware, like, 2 Pyromancers is still a lot of Pyromancers, chat. I get that we only get 2, but... Man, look at that. Look at that borderless Pyromancer token. Looks like gas. And you can see here again when I mouse over it, it says original on the right side. Alright, so they're killing my Pyromancers, sure. The question is, am I trading off tokens for their Arcanists? So we're definitely eating this one. The question is, am I giving up 3 tokens for this? I feel like the answer is yes, because I don't want them to be able to Thoughtseize me out of the bin next turn. This leaves me with 3 tokens, so if I draw an Indomitable Creativity, they still die. Yeah, this is definitely the right line. It's sweet Dibbles. Gotten to combo kill people a few times already. Thanks for the 21 months of Prime, I appreciate that. You gonna Thoughtseize me afterwards? That'd be gross. Or are they just like rebuying Dreadhorde? The Pyromancer tokens got brutalized by Dreadhorde Arcanist. The card dominates anything fair and mid-rangey. Alright, we've got 3 draws that kill them next turn. 3 copies of Creativity. This is where the magic happens, chat. Right here. Three lethal draws. How about 3 lands in a row? It's definitely an option. This is pod racing. Yep. Thoughtseize me, daddy. They're probably fatal pushing one of these. Is that why I can't triple block the Arcanist? We're gonna take 6 and we'll take 1 more draw and a lethal Creativity next turn. Oh, they're actually Thoughtseizing me. Okay, yeah, deal. Am I dead next turn? I'm not, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, technically. I'm gonna Behold this. Or Foretell this to make myself immune to a discard spell. Then we could do this at end of turn and then hopefully untap and kill them, depending on what their turn looks like. Oh, they get to fame this, right? Is that lethal? Yeah, I agree. I like the design on this one a lot. As far as their 4 mana effects like that go. Yeah, we're dead. Legend Hunter King just flashes back another removal spell. I think if we play this matchup again, I should probably board in Anger. I was too focused on Kroxa from the first game, and Anger would definitely be a card I'm interested in having there, I think. We just hope to dodge the Kroxa. Required to block, which is effectively lethal. That's not true. We could draw a make 2 tokens plus the Indomitable Creativity to kill them the following turn if we had to block out there. All right. We're 2-0 against MPL people in the last 3-0. We beat Autumn as well, right? Recently. Let's see if we can get for the 4-0. Who is Virtue? I'm blanking on their actual name, chat, because I don't know all of the MPL by actual name. I'm aware how the math works, Gindy. Lucas, that sounds right. That sounds right. I think we're just digging for creativities and cantrips. No cards, the draw cards. Holding up Spell Pierce next turn sounds great, and they could be in a deck. The MPL still exists, it does. I'm gonna avoid attacking because they could be a Shark. I should have played Dragon Fodder. They'll probably have a Shark Typhoon here, so I don't really want to attack in. Yeah. I want to hold up Spell Pierce for this, so I don't want to Fire Prophecy this token. So I played the wrong token card here because I wasn't attacking. Oh, shit. I wasn't ready for them to pass. Definitely should have done that. Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. Do I play more tokens here? I think the answer is no. I don't think I play into, like, a Languish or a Soot or whatever. Alright. Let's do what we should have done last turn. Put this Fire Prophecy back into my deck. Alright, chat, ready to seize the means of production? I mean the spoils.
Not to brag, but I'm totally the best pyromancy student.
I think we're supposed to plus this for the turn, because they could have another Shark Typhoon.
Mother Ludi gave us homework.
Getting her to 5's not terrible either, because lets me flash back 2 spells over the course of a couple of turns too, which is nice.
I'm late to meditation anyway.
Alright, come on, cast Ultimatum. There's the Languish we've been playing around. These are a few of my favorite things. Spell Pierce gets significantly worse when they know about it. especially if they're not under significant pressure. Well then. It's fine, this is still lethal. Good night. So long, farewell, I'll see you and good day. Fire Prophecy out, Negates in. At least one of those. This is probably a Torch of Defiance in matchup. I don't know if this is an Aether Gust matchup or not. I don't think it's a Chandra Awakened Inferno because you're not quite as do nothing as blue-white. If they're if they play Ultimatum this game, I'll bring the Aether Gust in for game 3. If you're gonna get Thought Seized a bunch, don't mulligan, chat. Just keep your hands that have castable spells in them. This reminds me of a good version of Dragon Storm. Yeah, it's got similar vibes to that. This part where they put a black land into play and then Thought Seize me? Nope, not quite. Am I holding up Negate this turn? I don't think they have 4 mana spells I really need to counter. We'll see if that's the case or not. I'm gonna shock this in to bluff a counter spell here. And I think I actually, if they don't give me something to negate, I just cycle the Triome here. That's actually terrifying. Them having their finisher right away is really good for them. A Vinyl Dial-In, thanks for the 3rd of year, I appreciate that. Welcome back. Foretell feels like the real version of hide your memes against discard spells. It really is, doesn't it? You enjoy mid-range decks? Jund Sacrifice is the playable mid-range deck in this format.
Won't lie, I'm a pretty great fire dancer. Mother Lady always say, fight fire with fire.
Blue-red snow deck worth it. It felt fine.
Consider Under this bridge.
I don't know that I'd recommend that deck based on pure power level considerations, but I've played worse. I play around a Censor just because I can. They have a removal spell here. We're likely dead because Scarab God's gonna bring back the terror. Yeah. I would bet that our opponent's deck does not have a lot of threats in it, so the fact that they had Scarab God on exactly 5 that game was very good for them. Do I bring in Chandra 6 just because she exiles Scarab God? That's actually probably a decent idea, huh? I don't know that I love Spell Piercing. It's their slightly more creature-based deck. I think that's a good consideration. I didn't think about her exiling Scarab God. Mutate's been awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Naya Mutate later this week. I feel like if we can keep them off their threats, we can punk them out going long. Anyone define what a mid-range deck tiers? I don't really know what it means. So the best way to describe a mid-range deck is a mid-range deck. A mid-range deck is a deck that assumes different roles and different matchups depending on what it's playing against. So typically speaking, a mid-range deck assumes a controlling role against aggressive decks, and it assumes an aggressive role against controller combo decks. And obviously there's varying shades of gray in that statement, but at the baseline, that's like how you would loosely define it. It's a multi-class deck. I don't think that's a good description. I think the flexibility is the important distinguishing factor.
When people start screaming, I know I'm on track. Oh, today's my lucky day.
That's super unfortunate. On value over tempo or card advantage. So, can we dissect this pile of bullshit buzzwords that's just been posted in my chat? Mid-range focuses on value over tempo or card advantage. Can you define value for me if you don't think... How are you defining value if card advantage isn't it? What's up, bud? What? Declan is not going to hurt you. Go to a different floor of the house if you and Declan can't play nice together. Man. I think we're just supposed to make mana play terror, hold up Negate.
This'll be easy.
I think is the play here. "60 Black Lotuses generates the most value because value is the total money you put into a deck." Yeah, Jacob is hanging out humming beside me.
Now you've done it.
So we want to draw untapped lands here. Really wanted to draw an untapped land there. Could kill Garg with the second terror. How? Please explain. I don't think you know what my cards do. If I would have drawn the untapped land, a second terror plus Chandra Acolyte of Flame could have killed the Gargoth. Yeah, they attack Chandra. Well, seizing into a land doesn't really help.
Yup, you're going down.
I needed. If we would have hit an untapped land there, we could have killed this and had 2 planeswalkers in play. Now they're just gonna like play a second languish and destroy us. So they like play second languish, clear the terrors, kill the Chandra. Man, we'd have been in such an incredible spot if we'd have just hit our land last turn. Double block on Gargoth seems decent. I mean, that's what we're going to have to do, but we're still in a shit spot. They're going to get to kill our Planeswalker, and they're going to draw another card. And like, if they have a Doomblade here, we just like lose on the spot when we do it. Like, I'm not winning this game if this block doesn't work, so we have to make sure it works. And this is the part where they play Extinction Event post-combat and leave us with actual nothing. I don't think we have any cards draws that are lethal here at this point. Definitely not that one. Oh, actually, that's wrong. A second terror would have killed them here, right? We had just drawn third terror. This guy's deck is sweet. I feel like even in the games that we lose, we just like have really close situations where if things break a little differently, we easily end up on top. Like if we'd have hit the land for the last turn, we'd have been fine. If we had terror here, they would have died. A lot of things that could have broken a little bit better for us. Well, I mean, at least their Golos hit was bad here. Here's the, is there anything more peak Magic than needing an untapped land to win on a key turn, bricking, and then drawing running lands after getting double Thought Seized? We still have some live draws here. Alright, just keep bricking for us, opponent. I'm holding on to this card because we have Seize the Spoils we could draw that would want to be able to discard a card too. That's true too. The fact that our opponent had exactly Duress instead of Thoughtseize this game meant that they had enough life to live as well. Alright, so next turn's gonna be our last draw, I believe. The nice thing is, any of our things that make 1/1 tokens are now lethal draws. So we've got, like, a lot of cards that kill them next turn. Chandra kills them. Chandra makes 2 1/1s. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's no reason to block here. Oh, they can't target this with anything. What if they have, like, a random give everything -2, -2? 6, 9. I think I just take 11 and go to 4, right? Dwarven Mine is not lethal. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to expose. We're dead next turn regardless. There's really no reason to block. Yep, Chandra 4 is also lethal. We're gonna draw a land though, because that's how magic works. Close game. I think this deck is much better than Locust God Sage of the Falls. I don't think it's particularly close. The MPL was bound to get on the scoreboard eventually. Hey, what's going on, Lucas? Good games. Your Sultai deck looks sweet. Are you an Ultimatum deck, or are you just like on big ramp stuff? Because I saw the Taking Turns card, but you never actually ultimated us. He started on Ultimatum. Okay, yeah, I could see it being too slow for the format. Definitely makes sense. I kept the non-ultimatum. I mean, I honestly think the Foretell Time Walk is probably one of the better Time Walks ever printed. Like, getting a couple of points of power with that card feels like a big deal. All right, our hand's pretty well set up here. This ramps us a little bit too, so we're just like looking for one of our Indomitable Creativities. No 2-drop, probably Company Angels. Again, we want to make sure we prioritize where to play Steam Vents next turn, so that way we can play Dwarven Mine for a token on 4. Wow, this is really good for us. Oh, excuse me. Do I play Chandra, exposing her to an attack? I think the answer is no. I think we just foretell this. Pass here. I assume we're about to get Collected Companied based on the rest of their slow start. Alright, that's not terrible for us. So they still don't have enough to trigger this, which is great. Okay, so I think we're just pirates pillaging here. It's terrible. Hopefully they have another company, huh? I guess there's really no reason not to keep Fire Prophecy here. Like, killing Speaker of the Heavens sounds nice. And, like, it cycles through a card in my hand anyways. I've got plenty of bad cards I don't mind churning through. Hey, Gliffy, thanks for the follow. Okay, so next turn. Are you legal in Historic? You are actually legal in Historic, Talrand. No joke, Talrand was a commander addition to the format. So if you're actually unaware, Talrand is legit legal in this format. Yeah, next turn we were gonna get Mystic Reflection into Old Terror Daddy, make some tokens, make some terrors. Yeah, Talrand came with one of the commander drops. While ago at this point. Yeah, I agree, Gandalf. Like, this deck has, like, reasonable interaction in a number of matchups, and then, like, the fact that you can just, like, randomly punk people out means you're pretty competitive almost everywhere. I'm glad I continue to be completely unplayable. Good afternoon, Must. Talrand is the 2/2 flyer Pyromancer guy. Man, the range of magic, the 1-lander into the 7-lander. I guess we keep this one. Hey, Panda. Thank you for the 17 months. Welcome back. Have I played this one yet? I have not. I have a donation to play that one specifically on Friday. Friday's Friday stream, we'll be playing the Naya Mutate deck. Gotta get down on Friday, chat.
I'm happy as a hellion to start some fires.
Plus her here.
We can do this together.
The music is having a touch of a struggle.
Keep it up and you'll pay.
Okay, so how do we feel about making a couple of Righteous Valkyries? I think I'm into it. We're one life point off of getting the extra trigger here. It's a little sad. They go away at end of turn still. Oh, I'm so dumb. Every other time we've done that, my opponent has immediately died. And I forgot that was how that's templated. It works. Every other time we've used Chandra to make tokens like that, they die afterwards, so I forgot. X is 3 on creativity, does 30 damage. It's usually lethal. We are dead here. Chat, there's nothing I can do about the audio mid-game. I'm not restarting the client mid-match for the audio. There's no need to bring it up in chat. I'd encourage you to hang out for the Mythgard segment if you want to watch what a digital card game looks like that doesn't have lots of random bugs. All right, depending on how aggressive their start is, we've got a Reflection with Terror plus Chandra here. But it's mulliganing a little bit. Foretell to Behold on 2 here, in case we're in danger of missing a land before this makes a token. Second Mystic's actually not a terrible draw because it means that we could potentially use the first one to counter a Collected Company. Counter a Collected Company. Yes, right? So that's exactly what we want. It's like lands that are mountains. Okay, so we play this. If I Chandra and she lives, I can Indomitable combo next turn, right? Now, they could company into second Valkyrie plus another Angel, which would let them kill Chandra here. So maybe I'm just supposed to hold this up. All right, that doesn't do it, right? So they're dead next turn. Oh, I don't have enough mana to quite fully kill them, right? Oh, I also drew the 3rd tier. That's fine, though, right? So now we do this. And we do this, and we just, like, put 2 of them into play, and we just, like, shoot their board. Alright, so the first one is shooting this, and the other one is shooting this. I want to kill this one first so they don't get a token on this. Get my free 1 point in here. And they're dead to Mystic Reflection next turn. We Reflection, a Terror, and then we Chandra, make 2 more Terrors with haste and deal just a ton of damage. Wow, way to concede before I get to do my thing, opponent. Rude. How are we doing, folks? This is definitely just me wanting you to look at my pretty face. It has nothing to do with me restarting Magic Arena in an attempt to fix a bug that's occurred. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a wonderful wherever you're at in the world. It's a good time. I'll restart. We can plug the tournament this weekend too. This Sunday, if you enjoy Historic, either watching or playing, you got our next Hoaglandia Open coming up here, sponsored by CoolStuffInc.com. It's a double elimination tournament. Everybody that gets at least 4 match wins will get prizes. It's a $5 entry fee. Anybody can play. If you're not available to play or tournaments just aren't your thing, but you want to watch some sweet Historic action, we're going to be having coverage all day here on stream on Sunday. If you haven't watched our Hooklandia Opens before, we pride ourselves on having minimal downtime coverage. Our goal is to have at least 70% of our stream time showing matches of Magic, as opposed to showing you ads or deck techs or player interviews or whatever other filler that they normally do at Magic tournaments, because I hate watching filler, chat, so I don't want to make you all do it. The Hooklandia Opens are basically my personal attempt to correct all of the things I dislike about other tournaments. That's why it's double elimination instead of Swiss with tiebreakers. That's why we try and do no downtime. That's why we have a flat prize structure. Alright, so we're gonna kill this Falky before they can fart it here. Really want to draw land. This is where the magic happens, chat. What's going on, pastries? Good to have you around in chat some more. Yes, we will not be showing best deck mirror matches on coverage. At least not until the finals. To be fair to SCG at least, a lot of the downtime in paper tournaments can be outside of the control of the tournament organizer. Ooh, that's awkward. That's awkward. We have one of our 2 copies of Sulfur Falls here, so I don't get a token. The best deck in this format is definitely Jund Sacrifice. The story of the tournaments this weekend will definitely be, can something with Death Shadow push them out of that title? There's a few different Death Shadow decks that are likely viable. BWS, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I think the Angels deck is competitive. Like, so this always happens when I talk about best decks and formats that are open. Like, chat, it's okay for you to enjoy your pet deck, and your pet deck is probably fine, but like, it's okay to acknowledge while having a pet deck, hey, these other decks are the objectively best decks in the format. What does HOOTS stand for? Hooklandia Online Open Tournament Series. Huh? I get Shark Typhoons. Hold on to the... I want to hold on to the Dwarven Mine for post-Terror of the Peaks, because we might Mystic Reflection it up. Nice. Oh shit! The Brazen Borrower gets us here, doesn't it? Oh no! Oh no! Shit! They've stolen our memes! They've stolen our memes, chat! Okay, so now I have to do this again. Okay. Alright. Crisis smallly averted until we get Languished. We're in a happy spot until Languish happens this turn. These darn kids and their flashy spells. They're gonna fart the Valky. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
The world will be oh, trust me, you won't.
Gosh, they're so close to dead, right? Are we one? We're one trigger short.
Catch me if you can.
Is Vampires close to playable? Yeah, there's a mono black Vampires deck that's very good. It plays the Snowlands. It's like a port. It's a port of the Pioneer deck. It's super reasonable. We're gonna hold on to this Sulfur Falls because I want to be able to discard it to one of our discard spells. Are we out of dragons now? I think so. We are out of dragons, yeah. Chandra! Chandra! Some pretty frustratingly close games against these control decks where we just like flood out when there's so many good cards in our deck to draw. Cycle Shark Typhoon, make a 5/5. Alright, this is bait. They didn't take the bait yet. These Spell Pierces just be main deck negates. The Spell Pierces have been real bad so far today. I feel like I'd rather just have an actual counterspell. We've been in a lot of spots for like if these spell pierces have been real counterspells, we'd have won the game. We have we have 6 lands that cycle in our deck too. I guess we've gone through some of those as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I guess we're through 34 cards. Probably all she wrote. Magic! Oh, magic. The kids aren't all right, shit. Those are the games you gotta get through. You beheld the multiverse and it's all lands all the way down. I think I am gonna cut these pierces though. The pierces have been real mediocre. So packs are like really good when you're like all in on the combo, Gandalf, but we're really not all in on the combo. Also, if you like count the lands in my deck, I don't actually have that many blue sources. So like paying blue for pact is something that can be quite challenging consistently. I think I'd much rather just have negate. No, negate, chat. Syncopate is garbage for a lot of the same reason that Spell Pierce is garbage. Nah, I disagree with that. Hello? I don't think you could cut mountains. I think I'm at the floor. I think you could cut spells for Valakut's Awakening. But I don't think you can go mathematically speaking, going lower on the mountain count is a bad idea. The numbers disagree with your change. Bertrand. How many lands are even in this deck, by the way? And in this game, we're gonna stumble and die, right? 'Cause that's how Magic works. 8, 12, 16, 18. And we're only on 24 lands. 6 of them cycle. Just start running head first into some counter spells here.
It's my turn.
You know what? Let's just use Mana to foretell here, right?
This'll be easy.
Alright, chat, new rule. I'm timing people out who ask me questions about my mana base because they're too lazy to do the math themselves. Learn how to use a hypergeometric distribution calculator. Your deck building will be much better for it. Rather than me just telling you stop it, learn statistics. I'm just gonna time people out from now on. We draw a card.
Yup, you're going down.
I'm gonna decline attacking here rather than running into Shark Typhoon. I mean, to be fair, making Mountain a Sacred Foundry is less bad than a lot of the other suggestions we've had recently. It's a shame we don't have one more mana. We just Chandra and plus.
Gonna hurt.
You know, that might actually be a fun idea. I wonder if you could combine the idea of what this deck is doing with like the Merit Liege deck with the Snowlands. That's probably bad. I don't know if you gain value from doing that or not. Brazen Borrower screwing with our Mystic Reflection's real annoying.
Today's my lucky day.
I assume they're gonna kill at least one of these tokens? And honestly, with like, you know, a bunch of creativities in my hand, turning this token into a dragon sounds great. We've got Chandra slowly ticking towards ultimate as well here. Okay. They're dead, right? We downtick this, we play this, we hit them for 5, we put 2 terrors into play. Yeah, they're dead.
Now you're playing fire.
Yes, that card does that. It counters their planeswalkers, basically. It's even better if you have a 1/1 when you do it. Pew, 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 pew. This deck's just sweet. This deck's not gonna break the format or anything, but just like the lines that this deck has and gets to play out are they're just incredibly satisfying. Like the sequencing decisions that you go through, you're like, yeah, it's like, yeah, that play's just sweet. Alright, let's draw Running Mountains here. This hand's really good if we draw 2 mountains in our first 3 draws. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Boo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You know, Thoughtseize me again, Daddy? It's a great draw. I know my range something squared. It's right to like Forbidden Friendship here to play around the negate. You can see that.
Chandra, you need more control. Just let me burn. Go get him, buddies.
Yeah, that could be the right line, Hyper Ninja. I like that suggestion. I was trying to be greedy to like save this to make a token, but I think you're correct. I think I should have played the Dwarven Mine tapped and passed into their open mana, burning it effectively. And if they do something at end of turn, then I cast my draw spell. Yeah, that's a really good observation. I think you're correct.
Remember this one?
Seeing our kind of scrappy beatdown plan coming into conjunction here. Am I supposed to hold up negate? Oh, right, they get to end step this? Probably dead. Sure. So you're saying hello 5. You're saying on your 5th land. So what's your math on the 4th land? So like you're saying 1 in 10 games, and you went 5th and 6th. So like you often don't have 5 and 6 lands to be playing out. And like you're saying you're okay making this change. So here's the best way to look at it. You're saying you're willing to give up 10% equity is what you're saying. So in order to make up that 10% equity, and it's actually more than 10% because I should have counterspelled that. I'm just ranting about chat. In order to make up that equity, those 2 cards that you're playing have to give you more than 10 percentage points in other places. And really it's more than 10 percentage points because you're going to miss on 4 quite frequently as well. You're going to miss on 4 more often. You're going to miss on 4 more than 10% of the time. So that math is a good articulation of why it's a bad change. You're giving up a lot of percentage points for a card that's definitely not going to give you back that many percentage points. Oh, I forgot to cut the stupid spell pierces. Damn it, chat. Chat had me ranting. Forgot to cut the spell pierces. At least the spell pierces are fine here. Not good, but fine. Probably worse than Negate. God, they got me monologuing. If they tap out for Wrath of God next turn and we spike a land, we get to play Chandra at least, which is nice, especially after they cycle a cast out. Fire Prophecy looking real bad here. It's the first card we reached the sideboard out. Kind of getting punished for keeping that in the dark. I'm gonna attack first, because if they have Shark Typhoon, I want to Fire Prophecy it. And then if she resolves, I'm just gonna plus her, because plussing her means she can flash back 2 spells. The Incredibles is 17 years old. Oh no. Why would you hurt me this way, Chuki? What did I ever do to you?
Keep up the pace.
So, if I'd been capable of drawing a land here, which obviously we're not, I could have Mystic Reflectioned my haste token and put my Dragon Fodder into play with haste tokens to kill the Teferi hero of Dominaria, but we don't have a land, so we're gonna concede. Dr. Mr. Punny! Being a sub for 7 months feels way longer than it should. Thank you for the tier 3. It's been a heck of a March. Yeah, I played against Ali a number of times on the tour. He came out to the Midwest on occasion, I drove out East Coast on occasion. Sure. Again, want to prioritize putting the mountains into play rather than the Sulfur Falls. For our Dwarven Mines. Alright, with that draw, Spell Pierce looking better than Negate here. With the Spell Pierce draw, we'll take a turn off of playing Chandra, because we can pierce a counter next turn, and it plays around Sensor, so that's real clean. Feels a little bit bad to not make a play this turn, but resolving this card's pretty good in this matchup. Dovin's Veto. God bless. I find myself saying card names in that voice as well, especially when I'm playing against blue-white. You know what? Maybe I should have waited to play this until after I saw what I draw, because if we drew exactly the second spell Pierce, I'd rather have played Sulfur Falls and not have a token. Cage doesn't make our combo cost more mana than cards Cesar. Cage doesn't impact our combo at all. Indomitable Creativity puts the cards into play from exile, not from my library. Cage stops Chandra from flashing back spells, though, so it does that. Yeah, really. Yeah, it's like Living End. Need Aether Gust did. Stop it. Alright, they have Mystic Dispute here. That's worth noting.
Go get him, buddy.
Alright.
Say hi to my fiery friends.
That's unfortunate. 2/2 Shark here is going to, I really don't like, the more I play with this card, the less I like it as a design. The control deck's getting to staple a, like, really powerful threat onto a cantrip just feels so bad to play against, especially when you combine it with the fact that you can't interact with it via counter spells. I'm pretty sure they have Mystic Dispute. Would Tail's End be worth considering? No, I'm not putting a bad, narrow card into my deck to play around their stupid Shark Typhoons. Tail's End isn't even good against it, because they still draw a card. Tail's End is worse than just playing a removal spell. So, like, no, I'm not suggesting that I change my deck because of it. I'm just suggesting the play patterns that it produces are very frustrating to play against. The types of things you want to be doing against control just aren't good against it.
I know.
Which feels really bad. They shouldn't be scrying with the castle? What are they doing for 4 mana? Are we Shark Typhooning? Cast out, sure. Alright, so Indomitable Creativity is a good draw. It's lethal. Well. That's why we were holding a land, I guess. It's a shame that could have still drawn Indomitable Creativity and killed them. We're just 18 cards into our deck without our finisher. Yeah, Tail's End isn't a good answer to Shark Typhoon. Like, removal spell is a much better answer to Shark Typhoon.
Let's take it back.
I think we're just doing this and hoping they're on a blank. And just spike the Indomitable and kill them. This also gets us back to Terror of the Peaks, which is nice. Tef can, in fact, go tuck himself. Oh, I put their last card as Dispute, right? This runs into Dispute. They have it. We had some pauses earlier, like they had a Dispute. Just saw it coming, sure.
Let's skip to the good part.
It is a little weird they didn't counter the draw 2. Well, creativity is still lethal, and we have a negate here, so... Can we draw our 4 of? Yeah, it's been the front half of this set was really good. The back half has just been brick after brick after brick, while our opponents run pretty well. I'm just gonna let this happen because our out is creativity, and I want Negate to protect it. Oh, you know what? I should have Mystic Reflection. Could have done this to stop that. Cause she enables memory. Oh. The authority of the councils I let them have. Okay, so if this happens with the negate, Mystic Reflection last turn would have won us the game because we would have stopped Narset from drawing them this. Now, there isn't really a one card beats all answer to these control decks, silly cheese. Alright, well my opponent just conceded to a creativity that wasn't lethal, so I guess we've got that going for us. It notably would have been lethal if I would have Mystic Reflection the Narset the previous turn, though. So, you know. I mean, I don't even think it's fair to say that aggro is the natural counter to control. Like, the control decks, when they curve out and their answers line up, you're basically just never beating them. That's why they're frustrating to play against. Definitely pretty variance-fueled things. Ooh, that's true. Shifty Boy's pretty good. It depends how many Aether Gust they have. Like, Aether Gust interacts with Shifty Boy. And I guess they have Cast Out too now. So the Mystic Reflection would have stopped them from finding their enchantment. Why was it not lethal? Because they had the stupid card that gains them a life when a creature enters play, chat. They had authority. They had authority of the councils, which would have put them to 12. So we would have like put 2 dragons into play and like had 2 5 damage triggers. But because Narset got them authority, and I could have stopped Narset from doing that, I could have countered the Narset with the Mystic Remora, basically. Yeah, the way multiple triggers entering battlefield works is active players' triggers go on the stack first, so they resolve last. So when it's your turn and multiple triggers happen, your triggers resolve second. This is pretty good. That's good. We'll see which Chandra they name here. Could name either of these here, depending on what their hand looks like and where their counter spells fall on their curve. Named Acolyte Flame. Isn't blue-white getting swords to plowshares and historic at some point? No. No, they're not. I don't know who told you that, but I would stop getting your magic news information from that person. Well, my creativities are not looking particularly good here, huh? Lead on this, because I'd rather Chandra resolve, so I'm gonna play the one I care about less. I guess the downside to playing Terror here is they get to untap and Wrath to clear my board. Maybe if I'm planning to lead on Terror this turn, I should play the Sulfur Falls. Being able to play around Censor is value towards playing the Chandra since I had the treasure token. They've already played 2 Censors. We're just here to jam. My friend walks his dog around at the WotC HQ. The dog barked twice, which means Path is coming to Historic. Come on, gas memory. Alright, I lied. Don't cast memory anymore. This is the part where this finds Wrath of God. Alright, I'm gonna go play some Mythgard. Magic, last hour of Magic has been real fucked. Just hasn't been fun. The first hour of this deck went really well. If you want to see this deck actually get to function and draw appropriate numbers of lands and spells, catch the replay on the YouTube channel. I think I'd probably get rid of these Spell Pierces. They were pretty mediocre in a lot of the games that we played. They were like okay in the last blue-white matchup there, but I think I'd rather just like play Negate. I think I'd probably like get up to 4 Negates in the 75, and then probably add an extra copy of one of these 2 Chandras for the control matchup. Probably Awakened Inferno. I think that's probably where I'd end. I don't think I'd screw with the mana base. People kept talking about cutting mountains. Don't cut mountains. You need mountains for Dwarven Mine. You can't add more Sulfur Falls or replace these. There's only 12 blue sources, which is a little bit on the low side for blue as is. The only reason the mana is relatively consistent is because we don't need blue to late game a lot of the time, and Pirates and Seize the Spoils technically kind of filter us for blue. So I think this is the list I would end on. Sometimes you just run cold. Let's shift over to Mythgard, where there's not incredible amounts of resource